Well, it's showing. It's showing live on.
Welcome to Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. Part of the Fanatical L's Network, fans first. Join us now. Oh, join us now. Yes, that would be right now. We are Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi and
I'm
Johnny
here.
Cleveland.
I'm here. Wearing my track here.
I like your getup, Lou. You're looking like you're a Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
Guardians.
Indians.
Guy.
I identify as a Cleveland Indians fan.
Well, that's how I responded when they won. Congratulations to the Cleveland Indians. I mean the Tide. I mean the Guardians. But I did that for all of you.
the Cleveland indigenous peoples.
That's right. I do it for all of you. Well, I mean, come on.
How
man.
ironic. It's Columbus
100
Day,
years,
too.
and then we want to be all sensitive.
It's not a political show. It's not a political show.
We don't want to go there because I don't want to get.
Oh, you know what I need to do?
Facebook.
Let me add my Twitter on this while we're at it. So go ahead, man.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Johnny Cleveland here is trying to get through another week of. I've had this cough and this little whatever this crap is that some people have. I don't have COVID, but it won't go away.
Well, it's good. You don't have COVID. That's positive.
It's frustrating as hell. But so if I pause or if I have to take one of these cough drops right here, these lovely cough drops, I'll let Lou do all the talking. But Lou, so it's been another wonderful, crazy. Yeah. Let's first congratulate the Guardians, and then let's talk now about. We can talk about the Guardians before we leave, but you know, the Browns suck. And so
they're not playing well at all.
They're 1-5. They just lost to the Eagles. Lou, I mean, Deshaun Watson, Stefanski in the news today again is we're not sitting Deshaun. He's going to play, and I know you've read a little bit about it this week. Where are you at right now?
Well, I think I told you before we started the show. I think I'm one of the few people there that agree with Mary Kay Cabot. And might be, I don't think I'm the only one, but I'm one of the few. I think I've heard a few people say rumblings.
Mary Kay.
Mary Kay Cabot. Yeah, we're like this, you know. I gotta let her know that hey, I'm a married man, Mary Kay, just so you know. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I've met her a few times, but she probably wouldn't.
You met her. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you've been in you're in the media world in the past. So
yeah, I bet. Oh yeah, I was. So but anyway, just to get to the point of it, nothing would change with Jameis Winston in there unless they start executing the offense as a team. And my point, and like I said, the second half, and I had this feeling this was going to happen because Deshaun Watson, a second half quarterback. I said he's going to do all right. And when it was tied, I'm like, we got a shot, but because it was tied at halftime.
But when we got down there, wait a second. I just went, okay, well, you keep going. I'm sorry. I'm just pissed.
No. You're pissed because when we got down there, the two
first down at the goal line again, and a lot of Browns fans had that feeling.
Two back-to-back false starts, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was the same feeling we had a week ago.
Back-to-back false starts. And well, actually, that we overcame a penalty that I thought was complete BS.
Yes.
I'm trying to not swear. I'm trying not to, with Mari Cooper, which even like, well, you know what I was doing? I was doing the thing was I had it on TV and I was listening to the radio people because the network people, especially on Fox, yeah, I just can't stand them. And they make me vomit. The whole thing was even like Andrew Siciliano and Nathan Zagura are like, wait a second. You know, how are they calling it on him? I didn't see it. I couldn't see that. And it was horrendous. It was a defensive pass interference, at the very least. They should have been offsetting. But we overcame it. We still got down to the goal line. In the second half, Deshaun Watson was for made 11 completions out of 12 attempts for 122 yards. We need to see that for a full game, not just for a half. Okay. And we need to see points. So that's what's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this. Well, people asked Stefanski, like, well, what was the difference between the second half and the first half? He said the
Yeah.
pass protection was better. That's what he said. And he said our best chance
Okay.
to win is Deshaun Watson. And I agree with him. I said, okay, let me just I put this in an article, and it's not it's probably going to publish tomorrow.
Okay.
Give you a little
Okay.
sneak peek of what I'm going to say. Okay,
Yes.
I said, look, this is temporary.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And what I mean is that I'm telling you something's off, something's not right. I'm not sure what it is,
Okay.
but this team, considering I said it's been an abysmal failure the first 6 games because the amount
Yes.
of money that they're spending on this offense needs to
Yes.
play better. What I'm hoping for it. Well, I also wrote an article today that came out about Nick Chubb coming back. With Nick Chubb back, and if Ethan Posted can go, because they say he's day to day, then
Mm-hmm.
we'll have 4 out of our 5 starting offensive line. We
Yes.
would, because we'd
Yes.
have Conklin and Jed Wills, we'd have Bitonio, we'd have Posted get probably put Dunn at guard.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. We got something going there with a healthier line, better execution, and catch the goddamn ball when it hits your
Mm-hmm.
hands. Because there's
Mm-hmm.
one Amari Cooper drop, and when it's off, it's off.
Yeah, at
When
the
it's on,
beginning,
it's on.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and Watson was off on some throws, but I'm not saying I'm not defending him entirely because he's partially at fault for this just as much as Amari Cooper is, just
Right.
as much as the offensive line is, just as much as everybody is out there. Pierre Strong had a solid game. I thought he
Mhm.
came in and filled in nicely, and
Yeah,
I thought the defense played very well. To be
they
honest
did.
with you,
They did.
there's
You know,
Sherry. Thanks,
just
Sherry.
too many people, too many times. Hello, Sherry. Um,
Thanks,
hi,
John. Thanks,
Brian.
Brian. Hey, Brian.
Um,
This is Mike K.
just too many opportunities.
Without getting angry, Lou, why when it was 4th and 1 calling a Jets? Oh, I knew that was going to come up. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're this is what I thought. This is what I think the thought process. I'm not
Okay.
getting angry at it. I wouldn't have given it to Cedric
Thanks,
Tillman.
Mike.
I've given it to Elijah Moore. But
Uh-huh.
I think it was the fact that they were going to be defending the quarterback sneak, and they're trying to do what they did with was that Jerome Ford in Jacksonville when they did
Yeah.
a similar sweet end around, but they
Okay.
defended it very
But
well.
like
So
Vilma, that during that sequence, the TV broadcaster Vilma, he even
mhm,
said it was considering that drive, just looking back at all of the plays in that sequence of plays.
mhm,
Um, they were running the ball well between the tackles all the way
yeah,
down on that drive.
yeah.
And then they go to this sweep. And it's just like, come on, man. Like,
No,
you,
well, I can't blame him for it because did you know that he wasn't calling the plays?
well, okay, there's some.
Stefanski wasn't calling the plays
Did he
yesterday. He did.
mention that today?
Yeah, well, yeah, because he said they called every play based on Twitter polls since everybody on Twitter knows everything.
Now here, no, I will say this though. No, Lou, I'll say this though. There was some information. I know what you're.
Come
Um,
on, I had to say
no,
that.
no, I know you did.
Everybody on Twitter's
All
an
right.
expert. They
Well,
know
Steve,
everything,
okay.
so they should call the plays from Twitter. I want to see it. I
No,
want to
no.
see this.
What I was getting
Yeah.
at is that Steve Gill, our colleague, had mentioned that he had heard he has somebody that he says that he knows, and I don't know who it is exactly, but that they have been discussing Stefanski and Dorsey, like having Dorsey calling the plays. And if you noticed, like yesterday, they were both on the headsets. They both had their Denny's menus. You wonder.
It's a play
You know,
call sheet. It's not a. But yeah,
well,
they're ordering.
yeah.
They're only moon
No,
over
I
moon
know.
over
So
one
I don't
penny.
know. Anyway, okay. So I mean, that was there weren't many. I didn't think that there were many horrible like that was a. I didn't like that play
No,
call
no. Well,
myself.
because it didn't work. If it
No.
would have worked, it was genius. So I
Well,
mean,
I
yeah.
got you. No,
Well,
I got you.
I wouldn't have given it to Tillman though. I
Yeah.
didn't mind the play calls much.
But
I
then
would have said
why did we give it to Tillman? I mean,
I
who
don't
made
know.
that?
That was what was the personnel package on that.
No, let's talk about Elijah Moore for a second. Like Elijah Moore,
Mhm.
right? He's dropped off the face of the planet.
Well, the
Um,
whole offense has, but go
Well,
ahead.
I know he had one catch for 3 yards, and I think
Yeah,
got hurt too, like hit his head or something late
yeah,
in that
yeah,
game.
yeah. I
I
think
don't know if
so.
there was any
It was,
kind of
but
injury report.
I haven't seen anything about him or Emerson or
Okay, like Greg
who else?
Newsom. Let's talk. What about Greg
Yeah.
Newsom? What's your analysis of Greg Newsom? I think he's so. I'm so tired of that kid, and then it just
Are you
exacerbated
talking
this.
about the last play, like one of the last
Well,
plays
where
when
he
the
got
deep
kind
ball?
of the pick
That
play,
was a
and then he kind of.
Yeah, the pick play, that should have been offensive pass interference.
Well, no,
That
no,
should have
no.
been off. Fuck that. That should have been off. Oh, sorry. That should have been
Yeah.
offensive pass. I watched it and I'm like, that's a pick. That
Well,
if that
sure
was
it is.
us, they would have called it on offensive pass
Well,
interference.
okay.
Yes, they would have. They call every little ticky tacky thing against us. These referees have something against Cleveland. They wear Steeler jerseys underneath their fucking stripes. I swear to God. And if I ever
Them
meet one of
them
them, I will
Steeler
kick
fans and
them.
them
I
Yankees,
will. I
them
will
Yankee
kick them
fans.
directly in the
You know,
balls if I ever see a
aren't you
referee.
annoyed by the Yankee fans? I mean, I
I'm an,
just
I'm annoyed by everybody. So let's just get this straight. No, let's just get this straight. Okay, we barely touch a quarterback, but it touches his head.
yeah,
We get flags on us.
yeah,
Okay, guy doesn't even get knocked off his feet.
right,
That's roughing the passer.
yeah,
A crown of the helmet hits Deshaun Watson in the chin in
mhm,
Washington, right in front of the referees.
yeah,
Nothing.
nothing.
Everybody, that's a great old school tackle. That's what they said on TV. I'm like, you
Yeah,
bunch of assholes. That should have been. I mean, for God's
I
sakes.
got you, I got you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
all right, so
am I not making sense on
no,
this?
you
Oh
are.
yeah, but yeah, everybody on
No, I
Twitter is
think
going to call
Browns fans.
plays.
Well, no, but I think a
Yeah,
lot of us feel. I mean, we have felt. I mean, I know I have for years, Lou. Like many Browns fans, the
yeah.
same thing that you're saying right now. That there's been so many times, not just this year, but years past. What do you think about? People have asked this question. Like, do you think that this season is like comparing it to 2016 and 2017? I mean, I think it's just the huge deflation and disappointment in what we're seeing right now. But
There's you want to okay. You want
yeah,
to know too? There's huge differences between the two.
okay.
The talent is much better on this team.
Well, that right,
The talent's much more better, so it's not going to last.
but why is it happening?
I'll be the one to say it. It's not
Yeah,
going to last.
it's
Why
not
is
going
it
to last. But
happening?
why is it
Because
happening?
shit happens.
Yeah.
We haven't had a healthy offensive line since week 1 of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it was put together with duct tape and bubble gum for
Duct
for
tape and bubble gum. I
most
like that.
for most of the last season, and
Yeah.
we got like goddamn we got lucky on a lot of
Yeah.
things. We just
Mm-hmm.
we had some fortunate bounces go
Mm-hmm.
our way. Now they're not,
Yeah.
and I'm just saying the
Some
injuries.
people, let me ask, like Lou, I think Jarrell was on earlier today, and he did his own show, and he's really again, he does not like Stefanski. Okay, and one of his points that he mentioned earlier today is that they're losing these one run games or close games, but like you said, Lou,
One
last
score
year,
games.
oh, did we
Mhm.
score? Yeah, one score games,
Yeah,
and
it was 20 to 16.
16. I'm sorry. Okay. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying is like you said in the past, like last year too, we were winning some of those close games.
Yeah, we were
Now
closing
we're
them out.
losing again. So
Mhm.
I don't see Stefanski that as being a negative toward Stefanski not being a good coach. Let me ask you this about Stefanski too. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't see the whole press conference today, but there's been a lot of different conversations. Is if Stefanski's like, does he really believe that this, like you're saying, that Deshaun Watson is the best choice? Or, I mean, so many people are suggesting the Browns are really considering like they're actually tanking, like on purpose. Or even some
I
people have stretched it to say that they're doing this on purpose to humiliate Deshaun
what? Why?
publicly.
No.
Right.
No, you're
No,
trying to
I'm just
win.
saying
You're
that
not
these are
you know how
wild and
much
crazy
yeah,
ideas out there.
yeah, like it's he's being Bashan's playing because it's the owner. It's like no, I'm like, come
Yeah,
on.
no.
Well, no. How about saying what I'm thinking is if it doesn't change and the season goes to the you know where,
Yeah.
um, I wouldn't see Stefanski and Barry gone this year.
Yeah.
They'd give them another year to turn it around
Uh-huh.
because they have a track record
But
of
what if
success.
Lou? What if they're 1-10 or 1-11 or 1-9? They get to the bye and they're
What if they go into the bye week and they
win.
are 4 and 5?
Okay, cool.
What if they do that? Can we fucking talk that way for once? Can
Yes.
we? Can we?
No.
Is it
No.
possible? I mean,
Yes, Lou.
they could. I mean, if you got a healthy offensive line and a productive Nick Chubb,
Mhm.
and if they
Are
protect
you
Watson and they execute, they can beat anybody. That
what do you
defense
think
is in the game.
what do you think about this weekend? I mean, I
Mhm,
will not be there, you'll be there, but
mhm.
I'm very interested. I personally
I'm thinking if things don't go
yeah.
right early, that the Boo Birds are going to come out.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad. Like,
Yeah,
first off,
they need to go
do
out
you
and
think that
score.
do you think they're gonna have a full house on Sunday? I
Probably
mean,
not.
with
Probably
Nick
not.
Chubb coming back?
Or
Okay.
maybe with Chubb coming back, yes. Probably
Mhm.
with
See,
Chubb
this is
coming
where
back.
I'm really wondering how it's going to feel because we got Nick Chubb coming back. The fan base is excited to see Chubb back, but at the same time, they are in panic mode and really angry with everything that's
Don't be
going
in
on.
panic mode. Okay. What? Okay. So if it goes that's bad for the rest of the year, I'm not even going to put
Yeah.
numbers or records
Okay.
on it. Does your life change?
No.
Thank you. Then shut the fuck up.
But oh
I
no,
mean,
no.
no. When it was 1 in 31,
Yeah.
my life. I still had a family to take care of. I still had a
Right.
job to do. I still had things to do, and I'm
Now, when you
still going
say
to
the
do them.
F up, you're not talking to me personally. I
No,
don't
no.
think.
I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to
I.
everybody.
I
Cleveland baseball team on the
oh,
board.
we
Thank you.
scored a run. Thanks.
Is it
Thanks,
3-1
Sherry.
now? Is it 3-1, Sherry?
What's the score?
Let me
I'm
see. Let me
afraid to turn it on. I feel like I'm going to jinx it.
No, there was a guy on Twitter, Mike Monahan, that had a picture with the man that trained me to be a pro wrestler. So I had to quote tweet it. So everybody wants to look for it. Yeah, it was Charlie Fulton broke me in '93 to the
Oh.
pro wrestling business. Yeah, he passed away about 8 years ago. Yeah, he had a heart condition. Let's do this. Let me go look up that score while we're talking. It's a crack research team,
Let's
but
take
no,
a break
like,
from
well,
you wanna take
you want to take?
a
Yeah,
quick
go
break,
ahead, take a
Lou?
break. Take a
Yeah, why
break
don't
and
we
mute yourself. Drink some
right.
water.
Okay, we'll be right back here on Stirring the Pot.
It's 4-1.
We're back here on Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi
And I talked during
and
our
Johnny
breaks. I'm
Cleveland.
sorry.
No, it's all good. So it's 4-1 now?
Yeah, there was. I remember there was one season when Baltimore was ravaged with injuries. They only won 4 games, and they kept John Harbaugh.
Mhm. Yeah.
I remember too. Pittsburgh started one season. I was like 0-8, and they basically went
Pittsburgh
five.
did?
Yeah, I want to say I was living in North Carolina. I remember where I was living too. I want to say it was 2012, 2013,
Oh,
and
wow.
they did, and and
Was that with
it was
Tomlin?
that was with Tomlin. That was with
Okay.
Tomlin. Yeah, with Roethlisberger and Tomlin, just whatever reason, they just things, and they kept you just get to work and focus on what you're doing,
Yeah.
get better, focus on getting better, and there it is, 4-1. Yikes!
4-1,
Thank you,
yikes.
thanks,
Hey,
Sherry. You focus on what you got to do, one game at a time, one play at a time. What's done is done. 1-5 is done. It's
sure.
done. Can't change it. Can't go back and replay those games. Focus on what you can do this week. Focus on the Bengals. Focus on what your
Mhm.
job is, and do it. This team has the talent to bounce back. And I'm not. Yeah, Mike Monahan just liked it. All right, thanks, Mike. I'm not saying they're going to win the rest. They're going to win out and win 12 games. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's not going to be this bad. It's only temporary. That's my.
Let's
Mhm.
okay, so they're gonna I think, Lou, you probably know this too. They're or you might even know more than I do here
Mhm.
on the stadium, the new dome stadium. They're
Okay,
going to
what's the story
announce
on that?
this, right? Like toward the end of the month is what I'm hearing.
I did not hear that. Where did you get that from?
Various people on social media have been suggesting that, like, they even think like the Cleveland scene that you had one time had shared. The suggestions are out there that he's looking to make that announcement at some point toward the end of the month. So my
So
question is,
By Halloween, huh?
yeah, I mean, which we've all speculated that it was coming down the pike. I guess the
Yeah, I would
P,
have thought by the end of the season, but maybe they want to do some. Go ahead.
I mean, the PR. I guess I just the public relations right now. It's just you're so many extremes right now that you know they've got to
what's
try to, I mean, I don't know, I'm just
what's wrong with announcing a new stadium being built?
I it's good on one hand, but you're also dealing with this like high rate of public disinterest in the Browns and anger at the Browns and I just it's a fascinating time. I just want your take on it because I think like I just think it's I don't know what the hell is going on behind the scenes. I'd love to know what's going on because I just this doesn't feel like you said there's something off. There
All right,
just
all
doesn't.
right. I'm just looking at a tweet from somebody that says we want Cuyahoga County to pay for half the Browns' new stadium. We're moving into Brook Park. That's 1.2 billion. All right, that's not true.
Yeah,
That's not at all true. 2.4 billion of that is privately funded. That's
yeah,
more than half. That's two-thirds of it. That last 1.2 billion would be paid for with the usage tax for the
yeah,
facility itself. They're
yeah,
going to be paying back an interest construction loan,
yeah.
probably a low interest construction loan because
Uh
he's
huh.
got. I'm sure Jimmy Haslam has really good
Well,
credit.
I think it's great. Yeah, I mean the money's there.
The money's
I'm
there. It's
yeah.
not the people that are going to be paying for the ones using it. They're
I
not.
just
There's
think
not.
it's this long range like sort of thing like okay, you're going to build this stadium. It's going to be ready in 5 years in 2029, right? Isn't that what they're saying? So then there's no way in God's green earth that Deshaun Watson is going to be part of that team in
No,
2029. I mean,
no.
I'm hoping
He
that
might not be. He might. He might not be. I don't know.
I
But
unless he
okay,
has a miraculous turnaround and learns
okay.
how to win games. I mean, it's just, this has just been a dismal start to the season, and so there's not
Yeah,
a lot. Yeah.
it's been bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest when I write or talk about anything. But announcing a new stadium that's a good thing.
Well,
That's a
it's a
great
good
thing.
thing. It's just
Yeah.
I
Why is
I
it bad? Why is it bad timing to say, hey, we're gonna build a new dome stadium at
it's
Brook Park?
not necessarily bad. It's just I'm very curious to see.
That
How,
two-thirds of it's going to be paid for already, and the last third of it will be paid for by a usage tax on the facility
well,
itself
we're
and
already
not by residents.
so how do you feel about the whole Brown stuff? Like with fans already projecting, we already have the number one draft pick for next year. Does
That's
that really bother you?
no, it's premature. They could do whatever the hell they want, and I could do whatever I want. And I'm going to tell you, you people want to hold your head, hang your head, and kick
Yeah.
rock. And I have something that Italians call couillons, and I'm going to use. I'm gonna pay
Right.
attention to this week's game. I'm gonna focus on that, like the team should, and focus on.
How do you think they're going to do this Sunday?
I think they'll do better. I think they're going to do well being at home. I think with Nick Chubb back is going to provide an emotional boost. Now, let me look
Mhm.
at the injury report too before I make any bold statements. But
Right.
I just think they're going to do better. And Cincinnati, they've been underachieving too. They beat a Giants team.
Well, that we lost to
That we
at
lost to
home.
on Sunday. And like there's a final drive of the game. It was a fourth down.
uh,
Cedric Tillman should have caught that ball. That wasn't on Deshaun, right?
which oh,
That
and
was the
that
fourth down. Yeah, that ended the game.
I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cedric Tillman should have. That wasn't on Deshaun. Deshaun put the ball where it's
Yeah, but
supposed to. Cedric
I
Tillman
guess
drop it.
I
But everybody's going to bitch about we got to bench Deshaun. If that was Jameis Winston, you're not going to see anything different
but
with Jameis
Lou,
Winston in there.
but
All right, go
okay, no,
ahead.
what I'm getting at, okay, and I'm not disagreeing with you, Lou. What to a degree,
It's fine. Be
I
fine.
agree with no. What I'm saying, like in those situations, and I know, like he did drop the ball or whatever in that
Yeah.
circumstance, but
Mhm.
there are so many, there are other play. I mean, it's a collection of mistakes by not just Tillman,
Right.
but by Deshaun, and so I granted that Tillman drops the ball there at the end,
Yeah.
but at
Kelly
the
Holcomb's
same,
available. He's
he was.
he's in Tennessee. He's hunting. He's duck hunting in Tennessee with Tim Walls.
Thank you,
They're loading
Mike.
up shotguns.
Um, anyway, I mean, you're more of you
Yeah.
are
Mike just made a really
trusting.
good point that I'm going to
No,
capitalize
what
on.
don't what was the
No, no,
point?
he made a great point. No, I could take articles from
Yeah.
10 years ago, 15 years
Yes.
ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago,
Yes.
remove the names and the dates, put them in front of any Browns fan.
Sure.
They could not tell me where they came from, when they were written, who
Well,
they're
that's
about.
part of the problem, right, Lou? And that's what we're talking about. Like because that's you're
And,
saying that,
and guess
right?
what? If we get rid of coaches, we get rid of quarterbacks
Yeah.
whenever we hit a rough patch.
Sure.
After every year or two, every couple of years, everything. You know what you do? You have dipshits walking around downtown with a jersey on with a long list of names on it. Go, we don't have stability. Well, dumbass, you don't give it a fucking chance.
Right.
What do you
Right.
want?
Right.
This guy, these people have brought us a playoff win, two playoff seasons,
Right.
and really a winning record going into this
Yeah.
season. And everybody, we have a horrible start. God, I can understand. I understand the frustration,
Yeah.
but what bad rough times are temporary.
Yes.
See it through. We
Yeah.
might as well see this season through. And now you're ready to hang your head and kick rocks and say we're Cleveland. Fuck you.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Right.
like, God,
Well,
you know
don't do that to me. Don't, I
no,
know
no,
you're
I'm not
speaking to the
saying it to you,
masses.
but I'm
I
speaking to
know.
the masses. And it's the thing is,
I know you
you
are.
want you want to know what? I worked as a personal trainer. I worked as a professional wrestling trainer, and I've worked in a lot of different industries when
Yeah.
actually it's work. When you got to put something in, effort in, and you got to put in the work. Because you know what? It's
Do you think?
difficult.
Let
It's
me ask you this, Lou,
uncomfortable.
about
They
Deshaun.
they give
With
up. Oh, go ahead.
and
Let's talk about
well,
Deshaun.
no, about Deshaun with what you're just
Mhm.
saying right now, because there was some criticism that came out, and I know these are from uh, analysts and national folks that I don't
Mhm.
I don't want to speak,
They're entitled to their opinion.
but there the one young person who's done some article or done some not articles. She's covered the team for CBS, I think, and I can't say her name. It's a really long name. She's been in the league for a while. She loves Cleveland and everything, but she came on one of these Cleveland shows. I think it wasn't this week, but it was the week before, and she was talking about Deshaun and talking about his work ethic and not getting into a lot of specifics, but basically sharing. I don't know if you saw this, but
Is she but I heard from like players today, Donta Foreman backing him up saying he's in here and he's working hard.
okay.
He
Well, I'm
said that.
just saying these are people that are
These are
have various
national
opinions.
people that couldn't even find Berea on a map.
Well, no, this is somebody who's pretty tight. She's very familiar with the team, and her
Well,
suggestion.
we get her name and I'll tell you
I
if I know
will.
if I can trust her or not. Yeah,
I will,
look her
but
up. Yeah,
um,
look her up. I'm just saying
anyway,
that but there's national people
yeah.
saying we should fire Stefanski after we extended him. We extended him last year.
Well, Lou, you're 1-8, 1-9, and like I'm just saying, you're
we're
one and
now we're
five.
now we're one and
Okay,
five.
we're 1-5.
All right.
So
And
they
still,
fired. So they're fired their coach. The Jets fired their coach. You
you know
know.
what that is? That's a panic button.
Okay,
Was it Aditi Kikabwala?
it was.
Was it Aditi?
It was.
Okay.
And so, and I think you know her,
Yeah,
and
and you
I
know,
really respect her. And
I don't know her personally.
she didn't say anything specific. She made some generalizations, but the way that she portrayed it was basically that,
I didn't hear what she said.
Was Deshaun
Well,
putting
where
in
does she
full?
live? Where does she live?
Well, she lives in Pittsburgh.
There you go. Fuck
But do
off.
you know her background on this? She is a huge Browns fan. Her son
She's
is a huge Browns fan.
Her son's a
She's
Browns fan. That's
I have a
great.
lot of respect for her. I don't want you to
But
start
I don't. But I'm saying,
if
is
you
she
want to
with the
put her
team
down,
every
that's
day?
fine.
I'm
That's
not
your
putting her
opinion.
down. I'm saying
Okay.
she's not with the team every day.
Well, what I'm saying is
I'm
there's
listening to
other
what
people
players
out
are
there,
saying.
Lou, that have opinions
Let
that
them have them, and I can
well,
have mine and say you're full of shit.
you, well,
You're
okay,
full of shit. You're full of shit.
right.
Because I'll tell her if she was here. I'm saying, okay, are you with the
Well,
team? Did you hear that from players that are on the inside of the
yeah.
locker room? Because Dante Foreman
Do you
came out and
think
defended him. Miles Garrett came out and defended him
do you think
and
these
said we
guys
need
that
to do
come
our
out and
jobs better.
defend them? But like you
Yeah.
go back and
If they weren't, then I'd be concerned.
you
But
think
they're out
so.
defend. Yes, if they weren't
So like
doing that.
when Baker was going through all the crap back in the Baker and Jarvis
Yeah.
and I mean
Yes.
I mean people were supporting him, right? I mean they were coming out and
Not like
no,
this. Not that I remember. If I have selective memory, please tell me. But I don't remember on 21.
yeah,
He basically he had to apologize to his teammates after ducking out of the locker room early after the Detroit game. I
uh-huh.
remember that, and he said
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
he told the media, he goes, "I don't owe you guys anything. I owe it to my teammates." So I
Yeah,
apologize to them, and it was just kind of like the media was taken back. And I
yeah,
remember that. Yeah, I mean, he was going through some things at the time. Now
yeah,
he's doing great, and I'm happy for him. But let this play out for
mhm,
now. I'm saying, okay,
yeah,
if you get to the point where it's just not working and it's really,
yeah.
but he's going to ride it out because it's not going to be any different. Now, when you get
Personally,
help,
yeah.
yeah,
I
go
just
ahead.
think I think Sunday's going to be a nightmare. I just like I
That's
know
the reason
I'm not
why.
trying to be pessimistic, Lou. I'm being a realist too.
But yet you are.
I'm being
Well, but I
pessimistic
did
because
didn't I say in my article that that this past game against Philadelphia had all the ingredients for being a
but
blowout?
Lou, because of that, like, okay, so let's say I am pessimistic about what's going to happen on Sunday. Okay.
Okay,
Why
sure.
is that? Why is that like for the fan, like you and I, because I'm just a fan, why is that? How does that have any bearing on the team itself? Like it doesn't, right? I mean, there's no like I'm
If
trying
you
to
can
like
be pessimistic all you want, but yeah, but doesn't.
okay. So when they
But if
I
the team is
I just admit
pessimistic and if they don't believe they can win, then they won't. If you don't believe in yourself, you will never accomplish
well,
anything.
okay, so that's another point. Like that's right because then you see these players, like you're saying, that are standing up and they're defending Deshaun and they're they're trying to stay positive, which is good, obviously. And Miles
Mhm.
Garrett talking last week about we've got to do things better and differently. So
He
those are
says,
good
"Yeah,
things.
yeah." Well, everybody has to be better. The defense, I thought they played a very good game, and that
They
one
did.
last call, Greg Newsom was right there on that guy, and Jalen Hurts made a perfect throw, and it was a gutsy call because if it wouldn't have worked, then that would have stopped the clock. But they got the play, we were able to kneel it out and win the game, and we had opportunities to score and tie it, and we didn't.
So on
So
that pick play that you're talking, we were referencing.
mhm.
I mean, it wasn't like it was in the middle of the field where Smith got away earlier in the game that put them gave them the touchdown lead. Uh, Third quarter or
Yeah,
when was
and
it? Fourth quarter.
the offensive receiver ran into Newsom.
I mean, Newsom didn't get in make contact with anybody.
Yeah, he did.
No,
Well, he
I
had to
don't.
avoid he yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He did make contact with
He
somebody.
did make contact with him. Yep.
Well,
And
I
he
think
did his
what a lot
best
of
to
people are
he
annoyed.
slowed down to avoid it, and then he still got bumped by him, and the
Yeah.
guy took off running, and I'm like this. I'm like, if that was us, we would have had it called on us. I know we would have. So
All right.
those referees can,
Yeah,
they
but
can go to hell.
well, Greg Newsom, I don't think he's a very good corner. I just think that I haven't seen a
You can think
lot.
whatever you want. You can think whatever
Okay,
you want. No, I
well
mean,
that's what
I'm not going to argue. I'm just saying that I'm just telling you now, guys. I'm old enough to remember these same stupid conversations 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago,
yeah
and it hasn't changed anything. It hasn't. It's the same thing. I'm just sick of that. I said,
yeah
guys, let's just we know what we have already. We have talented people. Now, if you want to get rid of Watson, you're like hoping for draft picks. They're gonna these same people, we
yeah
put together some wins.
yeah.
They're gonna bitch because we ruined our draft spot.
So
I
you
guarantee that's what they're gonna do. And it's like
right.
I'll slap the shit out of
So
you. I
Winston,
swear to God.
if you put Winston in there right now, you think it would be the exact same
Yes,
and even worse
could be.
because he's
I'm not
okay.
saying I'm saying it's not going to make much of a difference if
Yeah
receivers don't catch the ball, offensive linemen don't keep missing their blocking
yeah
assignments,
yeah.
and we keep having false starts penalties
What
on the goal line.
what about Deshaun holding on to the ball way too long? Do you agree with that or not? So that
He's
sometimes
always
he
done that. He's always done that. That's always
mhm,
been his MO, and
yeah.
he's done that in Houston. He's always taken sacks because
They were
he's trying to make big plays.
they
He's
went
waiting for
0 for
stuff to open up.
27 on third down conversions until they finally made one late in the game yesterday. 0 for 27.
Yeah, I know that's
And
horrible.
they're the first team, Lou. I think they're the first team in NFL history, and you might have to
Hmm.
correct me on this, to not
Hmm.
have scored um, more than
I don't.
20 points in the first of their 6 games of
I
any
I
in a
think first
season.
team in 10 years.
First team in 10 years. Okay, maybe
Yes, that's
that
what I.
was
That's 10 years.
okay.
Um, okay, yes,
Are we going to
and
score some points on Sunday?
Bengals defense ranked 32nd going into last week.
I think we are now. So,
Defense, defense, no
oh no,
defense.
defense. Okay,
Now I know they had a lot of injuries too, so it like I said, I'm not gonna. I said if I knew the future, I'd win the lottery. So I'm just gonna say these conversations are old and tiresome. Like when people bitch about play calling, it's the same thing.
yeah,
It's ridiculous. That's why I'm just sick of it. The thing that I'm sick of the
we're
most is
stirring the pot, Lou.
yeah, but that's what I'm doing. I'm telling people, get your head out of your ass, pay attention to what's going on. And there was one. Everybody was watching this slow down version of this play against Washington. Look,
Yeah,
Jerry Judy was open, but right out of the frame of that shot was the defensive back from Washington. And the one guy that defended Watson was like, "That's Sean King, a former NFL quarterback, was on with Mikey McNuggets." He's saying,
uh-huh,
"Yeah, that cornerback was right there. That window
uh-huh,
wasn't there."
uh-huh.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Right.
This is slowed down.
Yeah.
This was
Well,
like these
the whole social media and everything that we're talking about
oh
right now
the still
has been
pictures and all this
magnified
crap.
a lot because we never had
Oh,
right,
yeah, they're
right.
blaming Watson when he went out and he said, what did he
See,
say?
now that was interesting. Like Jarrell and I were talking last night about the old game.
Go
Um,
find the Ravens fan that beat up the Redskins fan. Yeah, that guy's gonna. You know what? You do that shit, you go to jail. Did you
now,
see that? Did you see that with that
no, I
Ravens
did not. The
fan
Ravens,
was finding Redskins fans and just punch? You go up to somebody and you punch them in the face. That's against the law. It's called
yeah,
assault. That
yes,
is,
it is.
you can go to jail for that. And if you
Um,
actually hit them the right way and hit them the wrong way and you kill them, that's called manslaughter. You go to
manslaughter.
prison. You
Yeah,
go to prison for
we
that.
don't
Yeah,
want
we
any of that.
don't. I'm
No,
not encouraging that.
no.
Everything I'm speaking isn't completely
Yes,
metaphorical. Like I would kick
yes,
referees in the balls
yes,
metaphorically. Okay.
yes. So I'm trying to.
Yeah, but that
Now, do you
guy
follow?
deserved to go to jail. That Ravens fan, you don't go up to people and punch it because they're wearing somebody else's jersey. For God's sakes,
No, there's.
no, no, I would never condone that. No, I'm just
No.
telling people, like, look, this I've been following the Browns since God, I was
Well, we both
about
have for a
7 years
long.
old. Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is just the same old tired song playing over and over again. And yeah, things are bad now. Right. Let's see what happens. We get
Mhm,
Chubb back. We get Posick back. We have a healthier line.
mhm,
We now
yep,
we're practicing. We're doing things. Let's see what happens
mhm.
before we pull the plug and want to blow everything up. Because as soon as we blow everything up, everybody's gonna be like, "Well, why don't we have stability?" Because you dumbasses like you get listened to. That's why.
But now
That's why
you.
you have those guys wearing that jersey and they think they're cute and they're funny. They're gonna post their TikToks bitching about the
So do you think the
Browns.
organizations?
They're gonna what's that?
Do you think our organization does actually the Browns? Do they? You think that they are hearing the fans, or do you think that they
Oh, of
really
course
don't
they do.
care?
I think they hear it. They try to tune it out, but they hear it.
Mhm,
I think they hear it, and I would love it. I would celebrate. We get a new stadium at Brook Park,
mhm, mhm.
and they announce it, and they're saying,
Yeah.
hey, it's basically they have a plan of how they're going to pay for it without
Uh,
adding new taxes on
yeah.
people. Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
No.
Yeah, because it's such the people saying billionaires, oh billionaire. Yeah, he's paying for it. He's fucking paying for 2/3 of it, guys. I
Well,
mean, God,
I think Cleveland fans. It's like when
we
you're looking
it's
tonight at the Guardians playing the Yankees, right?
yeah,
So
the
I
Indians.
know it's a
Yeah.
different or the Indians, right? I know it's different, but it's this whole thing where if you're in the small markets, and Cleveland is a small market, that you have these teams, and I was talking to some other folks in another radio program this weekend, Voice Card down here in Columbus. They do radio for the blind, and they have a sports radio show, and we were looking at
Mhm.
um, the payrolls of some of the big teams, like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, all these teams that are in the playoffs. They have $350 million payrolls, and we're seeing that tonight with all these big names in New York and all the power and the money people in New York. It's just, I guess, what I'm getting at is that the whole. It's just that vibe, and that's part of I think what drives what I'm talking about, what other fans are talking about, why you're annoyed by it or it's frustrating because Browns fans do talk about this because we feel like we're second fiddle. We're not with the powerhouses. We never have been. We always want to be, but we haven't made it there. That's why not winning a Super Bowl and getting to that point yet has really hurt this organization. It's been great when Cleveland won the championship and the Cavs did with LeBron in 2016. And I think just that sort of thing. I think if we could ever win a World Series, I think if the Guardians could somehow pull and win a World Series, maybe even this year, that could help change that feeling
Mhm.
that I think a lot of us
My
fans have.
response my response to that, okay, people look at me, and I'm
Yeah.
serious.
I
8
can't
world
stop looking at you, Lou. You're so
8
good, gosh dang good looking.
8 world championships.
And I mean that
8
from the
8
bottom of my heart.
I know you do. 8 world championships, 18 Hall of Famers,
Yes.
and the only fan base in the history of sports to fight to keep their team and win.
Yep.
All right? If
Yep.
people want to say shit about Cleveland, respond with that and see what they say.
Oh, I
And then
do.
oh,
I
you know how pissed I get? Because I was telling Sherry about this on Friday
Yeah.
whenever I'm somewhere else and I'm outside of Cleveland, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'm from
I
Cleveland.
heard
I'm
this.
from
I
you
heard you
heard
say this. Yeah, I heard you
yeah, I'm
bring
from
it up.
Cleveland. They're like, oh, I'm
I'm
sorry. And
sorry. Yeah.
I'm like, and I used to get mad. I just go, why are you sorry?
Yeah.
and then they
Well, it's
can't
the
answer.
same reason, Lou. When I would live in Kansas, people would always what do you think people would always say when I would tell them that I'm from Kansas?
That you're from Cleveland,
No, well, no, just when I was in Kansas
and they
and
said you were
I'd go
from
some other,
Kansas.
I would say I'm from Kansas. What do you think people would say about Kansans? Any,
Kansans? I don't
yeah. So
know.
if
I
I
mean, I
came up to
just
you,
like, is it
how's
really
Dorothy
flat?
and Port? How's Dorothy and Toto?
Oh, that. Oh,
From
fuck.
Wizard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying that people come up with all sorts of.
Well, I know people. Yeah, but
Cleveland's
Cleveland.
always been the butt of jokes in movies, TV shows. I mean, we always have been harassed. Stars have
Oh
always put us
yeah,
down.
yeah. I
You know,
remember. I remember '95 when we won the pennant from the Mariners. The Fox 8 team was talking to the Atlanta team on live, and the guy's like, "Hey, what's this mistake by the lake?" He was on
yeah.
Atlanta, and Lou Maglio was too nice. I told him. When I saw it when I was working for them, I said I would have ripped that guy a new one on the air live. And he just looked at me. I said, I would have said, because he had like this horrible looking tie on. I said, your jokes are a lot like your tie. They're both from the '70s.
Uh-huh.
I and just to like push back. I mean, we got to start fighting back, people.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
one guy was trying to get with me on a podcast about Cleveland. It was a long time. It wasn't here. It
yeah,
wasn't when I was
yeah,
on
mhm,
Elves. And he's trying to rip on me on Cleveland because I was actually the wrestler. It was a wrestler. I was the heel.
yeah.
He tried to rip on Cleveland on me. And I said, dude, if I wanted a joke, I'd follow you to the men's room and watch you take a leak. And he just was just like, he was taken back. Like he didn't expect me to do that.
Right.
And I said, have you ever been to Cleveland? Have you ever visited the city? Have you ever gone to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or
Right.
see the museums or see the artwork or just to see this Great Lakes Science Center or
Hmm.
any of the things that we have to offer?
Yes. And they all
Any,
go, no, no. What are you
no,
talking
no, no.
about?
What are you talking? Like, real? No, no. The river's not on fire anymore, dude. It's not 1971. I like, I mean, I said, just that's completely prejudicial of you to do that. And you sit there and you try to rip on somebody's hometown. Now Lou Maglio was too nice, but I would have looked at him and said, well, what's the mistake in Atlanta? Your employment? And it would have just been like, yeah, and because he said, "Oh," he goes, "If you guys win, I'll kiss the head of Slider on our show." And I said, I would have looked at him and said, "I got something else for you to kiss, but this is a family show." That's what I would have said. It would have just been like, boom, boom, boom. It would have been like, oh, yeah. I would have done that. I would have. I probably would have gotten reprimanded by the management. And I said, you know what? I defended the town.
Hmm.
You want to rip on me for defending the town? You want me to go out there and apologize? I'm not going to do it. You want to suspend me? Go right ahead.
Hmm.
I am not going to let somebody talk about the city of Cleveland that way, especially somebody that's never been there. Because that happened to me in Raleigh.
Well,
That
yeah.
happened to me in Raleigh.
Mhm.
I was on a shuttle bus, and a guy was trying to call it mistake by like, "Have you ever been to Cleveland?" And go like, "No, no." And I said, "Well, you're a piece of shit for making fun of someplace you never been to." I said, "Fuck you, man."
Yeah.
And he just
Yeah.
kind of was like, "You taken back." I fight back. I
Oh,
fight back.
Lou, you're a
Yeah.
fighter, man. I know you are.
Well, no, I'm not going to put up with it. And
No,
that's
I
what I
think,
said. People
yeah.
and Browns fans, put your head up, hold your head up high. We're going to go downtown. We're going to fucking tailgate. We're going to cheer our team.
Speaking
When
of
if it,
that,
yeah,
tailgating,
yeah. What about it?
West Sixth Street.
Yeah, Sherry had a great theory about that. Did you hear it Friday night?
I kind of. Tell me again.
She is thinking that because you remember when we went in, you were there with your son, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
was there with Harvey, and she
Yeah.
was there with her significant other, Matt.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I like how you calm me down. When I'm not mistaken, seriously, if I'm not mistaken, they charged $5 per person to get in.
Yes, they
They
did.
might not have been permitted to do that. They might have
Mm,
needed to get a permit to do that, and the city might have had to get a cut of it too. And all these
mm.
other businesses
So
were.
who was running? It was who's
I
the
have no idea who was running it. I don't know. I can't say, but
so
we don't. It's
so
just
all those
speculation.
vendors and stuff in the past where they just come in there and they just set up.
Hmm.
And who's the
Yep.
organizer? We
I have
don't.
no idea.
Is it
I don't
is
think
it
it's 90s Zoo
Pumpkinhead
3.
or whatever? The guy that
I don't know who organized it, but that was the first time since being there that anybody charged us to go there. You used to check our IDs to make sure we were
right?
21, which I understood because they were serving alcohol in there. They didn't want to mess with that, and they could lose their liquor license if they're serving alcohol to an underage drinker. Which that's fine, but I'm like, man, $5 to get in, and the food was good, but
It was really good. That burger I had was great, and you had the
yeah,
tacos, I think.
chicken
And
tacos, yeah. And I think I'm trying. There's like a cheesesteak stand that's at by 505, section
oh,
505. I'm gonna check that out Sunday. I'm still gonna go to games. I'm gonna come back next year. I'm going to keep going. I'm actually
For sure.
Harvey.
Oh, I'm not giving up my damn season tickets. Are you kidding me? Like
No, no, no. We know.
I got in 2018, and I know like they're
One thing I will think, if this year still goes to the shitter, okay, which I think there's going to be improvement. I'm not going to say to what degree, what the record's going to be. I'm not a Nostradamus. Okay.
okay.
I'm not. I'm not. Did you like how I said that?
Right. Yes. Yes.
I'm not. But I would say they're watching right now to see who's responding to this adversity and how they're responding to it.
Yeah. Well, Rodney McLeod has the most touchdowns on the team. Congratulations to
He's
Rodney
got two.
McLeod.
He's got two with Mark Cooper, I think. Well, that's not going to last. Don't worry. I'm just going to, like I'm saying, my point is that it's, we got 11 games left. We're not even
Okay.
halfway there.
Yes.
And there's time to salvage something and do something. But when things are tough, you kind of want to see
When
like how
things get tough, the tough get going. Duh, duh, duh. What is
yeah,
that?
well,
What
well,
song
let
is
me
that? Billy
that's
Queen or Queen
Bi-
or
Bi-
Billy
Billy
Ocean?
Ocean.
Billy
Billy
Ocean.
Ocean. When the
When the
going gets
going
tough,
gets tough, the tough
the tough.
get going,
Well,
going,
things are
going,
tough
going.
right now, but you want to make sure. Okay, you want to know. Okay, who's still playing? Who's putting in the effort? And if Deshaun isn't, and what Aditi is saying is accurate, I did not hear that from anybody on the press
Yeah,
conference
I think
today.
it would be good for you to hear that because I thought I can't explain it because and I think
Did she say it on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show? Because I know she goes on that show regularly.
I don't recall. It was
I'll look for it. I'll look for it. I didn't hear it,
yeah.
and
I
I'm
would
just
just
doing
Google her
because
name and say Deshaun Watson and see what pops up because
I'll
you
do it.
might
I
it
could
might
I could probably do it on YouTube. It'll probably come up
yeah.
there. But actually, so what I was saying is that you're going to find out. I think what I could see happening if the season continues to tank or if it doesn't go any
Right.
better, I don't think you'll see an overhaul of the front office, but you'll see an overhaul of the roster.
Yeah.
That I would see that there's going to be changes made because
Any
this is
chance
gonna.
that Miles Garrett gets traded?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I would say that'd be less than 5. He's the guy. I would say Deshaun Watson's pretty much untradeable. The weird thing is since last week that whole lawsuit thing got settled
Yeah.
quietly,
Yeah.
and I don't know what the NFL is going to do. There is a possibility they could discipline him, and that could void his contract. But
Yes. And that's
I don't.
it's still out there, right? I mean, that's
Well, as far as I know, yeah, yeah. How come I'm hearing myself?
yeah, I got something. I had the voice. Hold on a second.
Oh,
It
oh,
was an echo. It was YouTube. I was trying to share. I was trying to share us out. By the way, we're on Apple, on Spotify coming up here. So if you don't want to miss us on the audio version of this, please tune in because that's how Lou and I make all the big money, the big pennies. Lou also writes for Fans First Sports Network. So read his latest article. He's got a
Did
plethora.
you hear what I said to Sherry? But I actually was I'm popping out articles like Latina women pop out babies. Did you ever?
No. By the
Yeah.
way, that video that you were just talking to me about with Washington and the Ravens fans just popped up in one of my feeds here. That's just terrible.
Oh, she's talking about the fee. She was talking about the fee. What? Yeah, did you see that about the Ravens fan?
Yeah,
That
and like
statement.
literally, I pulled it up, and it's the first thing that
Yeah.
came up in our feed here on the
And
Fanatical
somebody named
Owls.
Leo. Do you know this guy, Leo N?
No,
Says yellow.
I don't know
I
what
don't.
that's in
What does he
reference
talk?
to.
I don't know what it's in reference to. Is he hi? He's saying hi. Hi. Okay. Um, Yellow Rose of Texas. Okay. Um, I don't know. Or is he saying that one of us is yellow? I don't know.
Probably okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
good to know.
The cowardly lion. Yeah.
Well, Lou, you want to wrap things up? We're almost getting up to an hour here.
Yeah. That's fine.
So much to talk about, and I want to keep your
Well,
temper. I want to keep your temper, level.
no. I got worked up. I was
I
fine.
know you did. No, you
I know.
came
I
down
didn't
from
have
it. It's good.
I didn't have a complete
Sherry,
meltdown.
am I doing a good job? Are you watching, Sherry? Am I doing a good job?
Well, let's kind of set, guys, because my article is going to come out tomorrow. So where do we go
Yeah.
from here?
Yeah.
Do we go from here? Okay. The only thing you can do, I mean, really, we can't control it. We really don't control it.
I can't control it, Lou. Damn it.
Yeah, if you could, would you have had a 1-5 record if
You
you
know
could
how many
control
times
it?
I know, really, like, it's so funny because how many of us we all go through a variety of emotions and feelings when we're watching these games, and like, ever since I was a kid, and like you feel like, okay, if I just root hard enough or I scream loud enough, or we're in the stadium and you're screaming, and I
Well,
think sometimes those things, like in the stadium, like when you're there and you're the noises and the loud, the all that can really help a team sometimes, especially a home team. But anyway, okay. So Lou, how are we going to fix this? And we got to hang in there. I know you've been really
I
positive
pretty
about that.
much, but I say hang in there, see what they see. I think getting healthier, practicing, getting Chubb back, I think that would be a huge boost for this
Yeah.
team. And
How
I
do you
think
think they'll bring him back if they bring
I
him back
I
Sunday?
I put it in the article today. You're talking probably the first couple of weeks, about 10 to 15 carries at most.
You think he'll start, or they'll bring him off the bench?
Yeah, look at this guy. Yeah, fire Stefanski. Okay, thank you,
Okay, Sarah, thank you. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
What do you think about will Nick Chubb start?
yeah, even better. That's a better idea. Good, and they're going to wonder
Right.
why we don't have stability. Yeah, and he's
So
saying he wants to fire the analytics guy. Yeah, fire everybody. There you go. That's the
so
answer to
with
everything.
with Nick Chubb, do they start him or do they bring him off the bench on Sunday?
I think they'll start him, and
You think he'll start?
he'll be on a pitch count. Yep.
I say bring him in off the bench so he gets a big round of applause.
Yeah. Yeah. You get that huge ovation when he's back out there. Oh yeah,
That's what I'm.
it's and then what they'll do, they'll do a play action, throw the ball deep.
Yeah.
That would be. I remember because it kind of reminded me. Do you remember when Kevin Mack came back after his drug suspension?
Mm-mm.
That was in 1989. Am I right about that?
That's a good one.
He
That's one
he
that
get
we forgot about.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, because
remember.
he came into a
Yeah,
game against the Bengals. It was a game we lost, and he wasn't ready. He didn't do much, but
yeah,
but the last game of that season, he in that game-winning
he
drive to win the
did.
division against Houston, he
Well,
scored that touchdown.
you're reminding me about, is well, and what he's referring to is is
He's a San
are the
Juan Creole.
Haslams is
Yes. Yes, they're the ones rigging the Twitter polls to call the plays.
yeah, okay. Lou, final thought.
Well, did you know it's a conspiracy theory? It's BlackRock, the Illuminati, and the Haslam Sports Group are building that stadium in Brook Park.
No, I have not.
That's what they're doing. Yeah,
No.
it's a conspiracy theory.
Lou, I
They're
gotta.
I'm sorry, we could do this for
Yeah,
hours.
I know.
I
Lou,
got to do my Alex Jones,
love,
conspiracy. That's what
love
we're going to do
talking
here,
to you.
folks. They're putting
We're
stuff in
stirring
the
the pot.
water. They're putting stuff in the water to make the frogs gay. I'm telling you.
Lou, it's nice talking to you tonight. Hopefully, the are the Indians still losing? Do we see? Is
I
it
would,
still for?
I would guess. I'd venture to guess. So you're making me look shit up. All right, hang on.
It's
I gotta pee too. So hang on.
uh,
I gotta urinate. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. How bad can it be? Where? I mean, what the hell?
um.
I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. Hang on. You got the Jets and the Bills. Bills are beating the Jets 2017, so that New York
Oh,
team is losing. Oh,
okay.
it's 5-1 in the top of the eighth.
Okay.
Yankees.
All right,
Yeah.
Lou.
Hey, the Mets lost yesterday 9-0. They won today. So
Oh, they did win today.
they did win today. The
Okay.
Mets won today 7-3. So it's a 1-1
There you go.
series going to New York. So you never know. Hey
Right.
guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, check us out Friday night, the Burning River Browns talk, myself and Sherry.
Yep.
Stewcast on Wednesday at 12:35, and the Sunday Stew Pod every Sunday on Rumble. Thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Toodaloo, everybody.
He watches
Toodaloo.
me every day. You watch me every day. But does he have a telescope outside my window?
See ya. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
You have some very good hands there, Lou.
Yes.
Good night, everybody. Go Brownies.
Good night, everybody. I showed very little stock in what national